Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pink Table Talk. How are you all doing today? I am Loria Reed, and we are back with another outstanding, wonderful, blessed episode of this Pink Table Talk, just for women, by us, and for us. And I am so grateful that you're tuned in with us right here on Hope TV. And today we've got an awesome treat. We've got a great topic, and I can't wait to get into it. You guys see all these beautiful women on. We've got Miss One Deidre Stafford who's with us. Hey, Deidre. We've
Hello.
got Kat Braxton who's with us from Memphis. How are you doing, Kat?
I am well
And
glad
we've
to be with
also
you guys
got,
again.
yes, definitely. And then we've got the Reverend herself on with us. Mother Nikki Brown. How you doing,
Mother,
Nikki?
I'm doing good.
Good to see y'all. Look, I don't even want to waste any time. I want us to talk because this is going to be so good today. Ladies, if you're watching, we're going to be talking about Black females and the state of the Black female right now in America and a lot of the accomplishments that we have and our pink table talk and kitchen talk that we have. So go ahead on, share this with a friend. Let your girlfriends know that we're on. Of course, we want to make sure that we shout out our Women of Hope at the House of Hope Atlanta. We love you guys, and we're so grateful to be able to serve in the volunteer capacity and to even be on today. Big shout out to our pastor and everybody who makes this happen. So, okay, ladies, today we are talking about it all. Of course, we know the Oscars happened, the whole bit, and all that. Um, but we want to talk about it from another side. I know that I was looking at and a lot of women were saying, that's right, you have to protect your wife. And we're talking about the incident with Will and Chris Rock, of course. But my point is, I want to talk about the Jada side. So you have to protect it. You should protect your woman that way. The most unprotected woman, as Malcolm X said, is the Black female, and this is a way to protect us. And then some women were saying, no, violence isn't the answer. And it was kind of like a lot going on social media about it. And so I want to kind of pick you guys' brains about that. So, what do you believe protecting Black women is? Like, what is that? And I'll start with you, Deidre. What does that look like for you?
I guess it's just standing up for us. When they see we are mistreated, someone needs
Hmm.
to stand up for us besides us trying to do it ourselves, and we're always looking like the black angry woman, you know, trying to fight our own battles. Even with the Will and Jada incident, I mean, I didn't think it was that serious. It's clearly some other things are going on there, but I mean, he just did it out of order. He should have made the warning first. Then if he did it again, then go hit him. But. But I think it's just people need. I mean, our people needs to stand up for us. People need to stand up for us.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we'll stop looking like that black angry woman who's in protect mode all the time.
Right, right, right. I like that. Okay, go ahead, Kat. What you thinking? What you thinking about all of this protecting Black women? What does that look like to you?
Yeah, it's very necessary, but what we have to understand is that with the black population,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, with so many, and for I for one know how blessed I was to be able to come from a two-parent household. When you're not able to get perspective from both the side of the man and the woman to understand that struggle from both ends, being a Black American, it's a little bit difficult for Black men to understand what that protection is supposed to look like. So they're learning from images that they see on television, thinking that it's necessary for me to be reactive and in some ways impulsive, to the point where it gets physical, which in some cases it may be necessary, but we have to get to a place where we have the emotional intelligence to know how to thoroughly evaluate a situation and know what steps need to be taken. If you see something, say something, do something. You have to know when to step in and at what capacity and what level. And when that hasn't been taught, that's kind of lost our Black men and Black women alike. I think we both, from both sides, we have to learn compassion to be able to understand each other's struggle. And once we're able to extend and understand each other's struggle, I think we'll have a better perspective of what it looks like to be able to protect each other.
Mm, very
Yeah,
good. Very good.
that's good.
I like that. Nikki, what about you? What you thinking?
So I think when it comes to protecting black women, it goes a long way. So for us, we are already looked at as angry and emotional and different things like that. And so looking at the Will and Jada situation, we don't know what was going through Will's mind in that moment, right? So we had time to process like, oh, I would have done this or he should have done this, right? But in that moment, live TV or whatever was said, like he just reacted. Most of
Mm-hmm.
us, would have reacted in a way, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
for me as a woman who have reacted, if my man was sitting, next to me and if I felt this certain kind of way and I had an expression on my face and probably, would have gave him a look like, I gotta handle this. And and however you handle it, it's just like I'm gonna stand by you. You know what I'm saying? And so whatever that is like, hey, I'm with you with it. Now whether he was right or wrong, who's to say? Some people just think they're right in that moment. Just like a mother protecting their child. You know, we can't say she's right or wrong because again in that moment of emotion, they're reacting, they see something and they want to deal with it. They're not
Mm-hmm.
looking at cameras, they're not looking at people are around, they're looking at the target and they want to deal with the situation head on. And hey, I'll apologize later, but I just want to address the situation. You said something publicly, I'm going to address it publicly. You know what I'm saying? And so, far as just protecting us women, and as a person who will want to be protected, hey, I'm gonna stand by my guy. Later I'm gonna be like, now you could have done that differently, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? But we'll process it later, and
Mm-hmm.
talk to him in the background. But again, we're going to learn how to address things differently as we move forward. But again, what he was thinking or
Right.
adrenaline, whatever was going on in that particular moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know if you guys have read his book, Will, but he talks about he came from an abusive home. His father was very abusive to his mother. And there was a couple of times where he felt that he didn't defend his mom.
Right.
And he just
Mhm.
stood there and did nothing. And
Mhm.
that was one of the first things that came to my
Yep.
mind is
Mhm.
he felt like I gotta do something. It's just like we always go back to our childhoods in most
Mhm.
instances for everything. But one thing that kind of caught me off guard, I was just thinking for myself, if that were my husband, even if I would have looked kind of funny, I would have been like, no, no, y'all stop him.
Right.
Stop him. I
Right.
would have seen it coming
Right.
like, Denzel,
Right. It's not that
Tom,
serious.
where's
Don't go up there.
security? Get him. Do not let him go up there and do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, but
Exactly.
I felt like in a sense it was one of those, he's been the butt of a lot of jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's on all the
definitely.
memes and he's
Yeah.
looking soft. And I think that was his time to look
It's
like
I
tough
think
guy.
he reached that point,
Yeah,
that peak
yeah,
of
yeah.
I'm tired,
Right,
I'm
right.
just at that moment is live, like it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when is it gonna stop?
But I've never
Sometimes
seen
you just go
right.
ahead.
But I've never
Yeah.
seen two millionaires like millionaire overs. Like I ain't see nobody with that much money act like that.
No, me either.
Black or not black.
Yeah, it was like,
I'm
Will,
like,
I've never
you can be out here hitting people.
never seen him in TMZ, Will Smith, smack the camera guy,
Right.
coming from the
I
restaurant.
know.
Like, wait, what?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, Oscars, like
At the
your first
Oscars.
Oscars, my guy, and
I
you
mean,
probably
we got on gowns like thousands of
balling.
dollars on the body, and you up here walking on stage laughing people. I would have been mad. And I know, like, I was looking at Wanda Sykes, and she was saying, this is the first time while we're speaking about Black females, she and was it Regina Hall,
Mhm.
and some
Mhm.
other,
Mhm.
they were doing their thing, and she said the first thing Chris Rock told her was like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to take you all's night. It was supposed to be her night, their night." and nobody's even mentioning the hard work that they put into it. And this is lots of work that they did, and the show is going really well, but now it's like overshadowed. So it's almost, when you got a hot temper about certain things, you mess up things you probably weren't even thinking about. Because I'm sure you didn't even think this could mess up somebody else's night.
Yeah.
you know? So
I love everybody, all the co-hosts. Like, fiction is my favorite. Like, I'm
Okay.
excited for it. I went on Amazon. You have great reviews for this book. I mean, I was like, I gotta get this book. It sounds juicy and everything. So can you just touch a little bit more on this series?
So what I did was it's Christian fiction, but I call it Christian reality because I pulled some things from my own personal experiences, some things I'd observed and seen. And the great thing about fiction is you can do whatever you want to with it.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Can you sing just the first line that Jesus never fails for us?
Put me on the spot, but I'll do it for you. Oh, Jesus never fail. Then the old saints would say, I tried him. He never fails. Have you tried him? He never fails. Heaven and earth shall pass away. Ooh, never fails. God bless you.
All right, we're going to Benedict. We're going to end Theology in 30 right
I'm
there.
feeling that.
But since we're on the topic of the angry Black woman, since we're already there, it dates back to theories of slavery. And I was reading, y'all know I'm always reading stuff and reading articles. And it was talking about how when Black women get angry, when other races, men, Black men, anybody gets angry, we always judge the person by that moment. Like we'll say, oh, they just had an emotional moment. We're the people that get labeled as that from that point on, which is crazy, right? So my question is, like, have you ever been told that you've been an angry Black woman, or have you? Look at Nikki. Has there ever been an instance where you've experienced that? Now go ahead, I'll start with you, Nikki, since you nodded. Go ahead.
Yes. I say yes because coming from the East Coast, New Jersey, New York area, we are very aggressive when we talking, just communicating with each other. And coming to the South is very hard for Southerners to receive us, and we come off to Southerners like we're mad, right, or we just very hype. So just working in the ministry or just working period, I've been called you're hot-headed, or you're just emotional. And it's like, no, I'm really passionate about what I do. And because I'm passionate, it frustrates me that you all don't see that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And it comes off as if I'm angry, and I'm really not. I'm just really like, why aren't you as passionate as I am? And
Right.
sometimes me becoming a little boisterous or whatever, it doesn't mean that I'm mad. Like, I'm
Mm.
really am passionate about what I'm doing and how I want to progress where I am, but you all are not allowing me to do that. Like, even that right now when I'm talking, it seems like I'm, oh, she getting upset. No, I'm not. I'm not, because I really do love what I do. And when I talk about it, it's really just the passion that comes out of it. And it's like, oh, she's just angry, or you're emotional. Maybe you need to talk to somebody. No, I really don't. I know where I am, and I just love what I do. It's loud.
Oh,
And this is how we are. And it's, I know Southerners are just like, hi,
yeah, yeah. It's
appreciate
a culture thing, though.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
because we're very soft. We're taught to be, you got to be, really calm and nice and sweet and, stay in your place, so to speak. It's not said, but it comes across that way. Like, so when we see someone who is more direct, and I think it's more being direct. Like it's not a lot of the fluff. You're giving me
Assertive.
straight filler. Like it's no crust, it's no whipped cream and no cherry. You're just giving me the filling of the pie. Like taste this. You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes it can be that way, but I think you have to know your audience. And some people you just have to teeter totter on it. But I get that. Anybody else about angry black woman? Anybody been called that? Cat?
Well,
Oh,
go ahead,
Deidre,
Kat.
go ahead.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Deidre. Go ahead.
Well, I just think it's that most people just feel that women are supposed to be the same way, soft, gentle, quiet, meek, and that's not the case. I mean, we could be just as strong as men, just as loud as men, just as we're not supposed to all just be the same. And that picture that they paint that we're supposed to be, that's not us. I mean, we have our times when we're that, but we're not just supposed to be soft and quiet and smile and out. No.
Be seen, not
Yeah,
heard.
right. Most definitely.
I of course have experienced it. I, as far back as I can remember, I've always been told that I have that resting face
Mhm.
where I'm literally sitting here minding my business, and it's,
Yo.
what you mad about? You
Yeah.
are so you look so unapproachable, but yet you're standing here talking to me. So obviously it did not work. But that's neither here nor there, because just like Nikki, I understand my personality type and I'm aware of it. But I am, you know, a straight shot girl, no chaser with me. And I'm going to give it to you love that I feel is in line with being professional and being kind and being courteous. But I cannot sugarcoat to you what it is that I need you to know, especially in a moment when I know that I'm being mistreated or disrespected.
Right.
I have to bring that to you raw and unfiltered. We should not feel like we have to step on eggshells or always be on, quote unquote, because we have to worry about this stereotype that hangs over our head continuously, because the standard does not apply to anyone else but us, and it's not fair, and it's completely frustrating.
Wow. Wow. Now that was good. That's good.
Yeah.
All those answers were amazing. Well, I've never been called the angry black woman before. I guess I smiled too much or something. but but I have defended other women when people have come to me and be like, oh, she's just it's like,
Right.
no, she just told you what she wanted. Everybody's
Yeah.
not going to come to you and say, hey, princess,
Yeah.
do you mind doing this? And then, like, some people are like, hey, I need such and such and such. We're at work. We're not supposed to be buddies. We're getting a job done. And some people, personality, leave them alone. So I'm the defender of the women who are very direct because I feel like, I can deal with you because I know where you're coming from. You're not blowing smoke every 5 seconds. And I think that it's okay. It's very what's the word for unfair that a
Yeah.
lot of women who are brown women are judged that way because our counterparts, you ever been in the grocery store, they don't have enough lines open, they will tear that place up. Caucasian women or something, but nobody ever says, you know what, that's an angry white woman. Nobody says that.
Right.
So,
Right.
once people take stuff and come up with it, they run with it. And that's just the way that goes. So it's unfair for us. It really is.
for some viewers, they don't know what the word kenosis means. Could you please define the word kenosis?
Kenosis is Greek and means to be emptied out. The meaning of the word is found in Philippians 2:5-7, and it talks about Christ wanting to do the will of God, wanting to do everything that God had called him to do here on earth, but he couldn't do that with his own will. He had to set his own will aside. Every prayer that we pray before we sing, I would like, just empty yourself of everything that you may have been dealing with this week, even this morning, and allow God to take complete control over your life while you're ministering, and allow people to see him.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
So you're absolutely right. We're living longer. Our quality of life is better, but we're also experiencing things that people didn't have to experience because the life expectancy was so short.
Right. They need meal prep. They need assistance with light housekeeping. They need assistance with bathing. It's almost like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. Yes, it really feels like it. I really feel good about my parents aging. I feel like I took some years back, added onto my life.
Do you believe that Black women have a harder time in corporate America?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I know from personal experience. I work in what we know as big pharma. This is a white male dominated industry, especially as it relates to health economic outcomes and reimbursement services. You do not see conferences, these meetings, these forums, and you will look across a room of hundreds and you will see maybe 6 of us.
Mm.
And women are even less likely to be seen as Black women. When we see each other, it's kind of that thing where you catch eyes across the room and it's kind of like, yep. Yeah, it's just us. This is the reality that we're dealing with, and it's harder because for whatever reason, and it just frustrates me so bad that as Black women, we always find ourselves on the bottom of the totem pole for everything, and that's even after minority groups who don't even take up as much of a percentage of the population as we do. The wage earning gap is so disparaging. Diversity and inclusion, which many companies, like to promote, is not necessarily accurate because diversity and inclusion looks like for them is a sea of white males, one Hispanic male, and then maybe one African American female. It does not work. We're always going to remain at the bottom because it's so hard for us to ease into these spaces, regardless to our credentialing, regardless to how much we know, regardless to what it is that we bring to the table. We're just at a disadvantage. And quite honestly, I'm at a loss of even trying to determine what it is that we do to proceed to try to get us the equity that we're looking for.
Yeah. Wow. That was good. That was so good.
Yeah.
So true. You got Deidre or Nikki, whichever one of you wants to go.
Kat said it all. I don't have no experience in corporate America.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't either. It's been a minute
Be
since I've
glad
been in
you don't.
corporate America.
Be
I've
glad
worked
you
in the
don't because it's
nonprofit
tragic.
sector. Yeah, yeah, I've heard that. I've heard
Yeah.
that. And it's amazing to me. I know I was looking up women of color who have made strides. I can't remember her name, but she is the CEO now of, is it Walgreens? I want to say, or the CVS. It's one of those major pharmacy companies. And it's a first. And I believe that, some people say, why are y'all always celebrating when somebody becomes the first in something? I mean, and it's like we haven't ever been there. And so when you're the first to do something, that causes for celebration. We're talking about, grandchildren of slaves. So this is a major feat for us. Speaking of which, we get to talk about our girl, Katana Jackson, our new Supreme Court Justice. Thank you, Jesus. She is in place and everything, and she's one of our first. She's one of our first, and I'm so excited about that. That was just, so my question for you guys is, what do you all think about that? What do you think about the questions that she was asked and the way, her path to where she is? I just want to get you all take on that. We can start with you, Deidre, if you got anything you want to say about Katanji.
I mean, some of the questions I heard, it was just like, for real, but one thing I can say, as a black woman, she didn't show the angry black woman. She handled herself well. And I was very happy that she didn't get off guard or emotional, and didn't get off her, off her thing. So I was happy. I was happy, and I was like, because I was praying like, Lord, please, please, But she happy about that.
She did. Because I know a
Yeah.
lot of people were like, man, if they would have asked me that, I would have been like,
Yes. 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 Yes.
I'm sorry, Nikki.
No, you're good. No, I think she was definitely well prepared. I mean, she came from the Obama administration. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not something that's just happened overnight. And coming from his administration, it's just been training after training after training. And I'm sure she already knew that they were going to come for her. And she had to hold a level of integrity because you're really speaking on behalf of every African American woman that will probably, eventually follow her footsteps. And so you just gotta bite the bullet. And it's just a bullet to bite. You know what I'm saying? And so
she did it.
Yeah,
I was just saying a huge bullet.
yes, yes, exactly. And she did it and they didn't like it, but who cares?
No.
She's in there and there's nothing you can do about it.
That part.
Yeah. Right. Kat?
Yeah, I personally found the whole thing extremely just infuriating. You have Lindsey Graham, who, for lack of a better term, implied that her nomination was simply because she was a minority. She was black and she was a woman, and now it's time to fill quota. Then you have Marsha Blackburn, who unfortunately represents the state of Tennessee, and I just love it here, to have her. It's a privilege, for
Right.
her to sit there and, contradict party member Lindsey Graham and say that them not having a black female Supreme Court justice in all of this time is nothing more than a mere coincidence. There's no systemic process that has kept us out of this arena. However, you all are sitting here. You have set this queen in front of a firing squad and you have aimed at her relentlessly when the 115 past Supreme Court justices could not compete with her if they tried based on her credentialings alone. No one in the history of the Supreme Court has this woman's credentialing. Ivy has served as a clerk for a previous Supreme Court justice. She has served as a district attorney. She has worked for I believe it's the circuit court system. She was a part of the sentencing commissioning. How dare you? You cannot compete where you don't compare. If
Come on
anything,
now.
she should have been confirmed based on her
But see,
credentialing
they don't
alone.
look at that. They don't look at the history of all of the credentialing that she had, previous to where she is now. Regardless, black women, just black people, period. We went to Harvard, they don't care about that. It's just that our color of our skin and our gender. You know what I'm saying? Because for them, they just it's handed to them. So they don't care
Absolutely.
you spent all this money for schooling and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like for her to go through what she went through, the education, all the administrations that she went through, they don't care about that. these.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. This is gonna be broadcast. Let me
I know.
continue.
Remember, you on the pink table talk. Don't go too far.
I
Don't
know,
go
right?
too.
Politics is just, that's all it
Yeah.
is
This the
politics.
pink one, not the red one.
Politics and money. Politics and money. That's all it is. Politics
Right.
and money.
That's right.
Yeah, politics
And it's
and money.
very encouraging in a sense because, we think that we've come a longer way and we think, it's 2022 and we're making strides and we've got these women in these positions and this and that, and da 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 da. And for me, it felt very discouraging because it's always that reminder like, you really haven't come that far. And, these are the people who are teaching other children and their grandchildren how to treat Black women. And that's very, very discouraging to me because I'm like, I'm thinking hopefully each generation will get better. But if you have someone talking to them the way they talk to her, and we're talking about a Harvard grad, all of this stuff that she's done, and you're asking her, well, what's your definition of woman? Man, come on. You Whoever comes in front of
But
her with whatever case, it doesn't matter what she thinks. That's not what she's judging off of. She's just not judging off of the law, what the law says, and interpreting the law. That's all she's doing. So, it's just it's very I was very upset. I'm not gonna lie. When I was listening, I had to stop listening because it had me extremely mad.
Me too.
I'm like, you don't have to demean people to interview them. You ask them the questions that make sense, but you don't do that. You just don't. I don't care who it is, even if you don't like them. So yeah, sense because I said more than two. But you guys, this is our part one. We are coming back with our part two. That went so fast. I'm like, no, okay, I got more stuff I want to talk about. But we are coming right. We're coming back. We are coming back with our part two next week. So make sure that you tune in right here on the Pink Table Talk. We've got one Deidre Stafford, Kat Braxton, Nikki Brown, myself, Loria Reed. We're having a ball. So make sure that you tune in next week to catch part two of this right here on the Pink Table Talk. We'll see you next week.
Today, I got something special for you. We're gonna be making a southern staple with some sauteed squash and onions. Okay guys, we got cabbage is just about done.